Hey, mitaku yapi, hihani washte. How you guys doing? Wombly Walla Wah here, Singing Eagle, Sacramento. And have another unification chat to share with you today. Another video here that I'm doing in my favorite space. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Wooded area. And look at that sky. Again, look at that sky. Totally clear. No chemtrails, contrails, whatever the heck they are. All I know is that it's planes spraying junk up into the air, and I don't really care why or how. I just care that it's happening, and but that's a whole different story and a whole different chat for another time. But today I want to talk about, again, this whole thing of unification, because these are unification chats. And the entire reason that INR was started, in Indigenous Nations Rising, the reason it was started was, well, first of all, I was given the vision to share. So I had to do it. I've said that many times. But the reason that they gave it to me was to send this message out that we needed to come together as Native people, as Indigenous people throughout all of the Western Hemisphere. Turtle Island, which is what the others call Canada, and the so-called United States and Mexico, and then from Central and South America down, I refer now to that as Heart Island, because I've heard some indigenous folks down there refer to it as that. So Turtle and Heart Islands, of course we're connected, but we're still separate. Not the sections of North and South America, but the peoples, we're still separated. We're still not together. I mean, yeah, we talk about unification. We talk about solidarity, standing together. But are we really? But that can't happen for a while. I mean, we can begin to reach out to each other, but we've got some other business to take care of first. Now, the old ones were very clear to me in prayer that the first step was returning to the old ways. Ehani wichok, we call that in Lakota. It's really important that all of us, Iche Oyate Oyasin, all Native peoples, Ehani wichok, Ekichi Tupi, to return to the old ways. And that is difficult because so many of us are colonized. We hear that term decolonization all the time, but what does it mean? It's like a mindset, and the mind affects the heart. The mind definitely affects the heart. We can't return to the old ways completely until we let go of the false, fake ways of the disconnected ones, the washichu. And again, let me be very clear. I'm not speaking of a color. Hell, I'm a light-skinned Oglala. I'm 25% technically, but my heart is completely red. The path I walk is red for the people. Somebody asked, well, what are you? I'm Native. I'm Oglala. I'm Lakota. But the others that I speak of, the Washichu, are the takers of the fat, and they come in a lot of different colors. And I bring this up because I had a grandfather, and someone I look up to and respect very much, tell me very recently, grandson, you need to stop talking about color. So I'm working on that, I'm working on that. But when I say Washichu, I'm talking about those that are out for themselves, that are completely disconnected from all of this, no idea anything about this and their connection to it. Completely clueless. And it's nothing more than a resource to them. They can come in and they could wipe out this little wooded area at the drop of a hat and put up a housing project. Why? Profit. Mazaska, money. So I'm talking about the Washichu, the disconnected ones, and the importance of our medicine being needed by them more than anybody. But right now, we still, so many of us, and I include myself in that because I slip sometimes still. I'm not perfect. I'm nobody special. I'm just a common man with a pipe that has been given a message to share. But I can recognize that my people, my own people, the Oglala, the Lakota, all the 7 bands of the Lakota, all the Dakota, Nakota, everybody throughout Turtle Island, all the tribes, we're kind of brainwashed a little bit. Some a lot. Case in point, in the old days, we would be there to take care of each other. Hey brother, do you need anything today? Hey grandfather, you need me to do anything for you? How's your family doing? Let's get together. Let's just sit down and have some coffee or kayapi. Right now it's more like, hey, what's in it for me? I need more money so I can pay the rent. I know rent is important. I get that because we're living in their world. But we don't have to be like them. Every time we gossip about each other or we tell stories about each other, every time we make up things to make ourselves look better, we're acting like them. That's not right. We'll never return to the old ways until we let go of that. And so let's get really clear about what I mean by the old ways. Oh, we're all going to wear moccasins and put on buckskins and live in teepees. Not what I'm talking about. But I'd do it in a heartbeat, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's irrelevant. We have to go back and we have to make our sacred pipes with antlers and spend forever trying to just never use tools to... No, I'm not talking about that. A Haniwichokang is based on a certain simple set of values. The way I learned it was the 12 virtues, the Lakota 12 virtues. As I've said many times, your nation, your tribe may have a different set. You may have more. You may have 15. You may have less. You may have 7. But we know what we're talking about. So let's get really clear about that. What I learned is wa'unshi ichie, humility. What is that? Well, if we're humble, I suspect that we're not going to be arrogant. I suspect that if you're humble, you don't feel you're more important than somebody else. Or that they're more important than you. Because you can do reverse humility and go the wrong way. Humility means that in Changaleshka Wakaki, the sacred circle, we are even. Okay, look, my hand here, my fingers, right? Okay, so that finger now sticks up, it's higher, right? That's not humility. This is humility. We are the same, we're equal. We are as important as each other. And that we know our strengths and our weaknesses. And we're not afraid to claim them and talk about them and share them in a good way. I've got some talents that I've picked up along the way from the other world. I've said many times, I grew up in the Washichu world. I make no bones about that. And I was trained in music. I was trained in video and film production and in photography. I am still, to this day, a web designer. I love graphic design. But those are skills. Those are just things I've picked up, tools that I've picked up along the way. I want to share them with my people. If there's any way I can do that to help us and us in coming together and becoming stronger, I'll use them. But they're just skills. And each one of you've got skills. Whether you learned them in a school, or whether you were taught them by your elders, or whether they just were gifts from Wakantanka, Tunkashila, and your ancestors, you got them. So we have to return to the old ways by embracing the simple core values of what it means to be native. Humility, love, compassion, generosity. If you're generous, You're not going to be stingy or selfish. If you're, have courage and bravery, you're not going to fold at the least little thing out of fear. Prayer. Everything is centered around prayer, but it really begins with these 12 virtues. And so I urge each one of you, that's what it means to return to the old ways. Now really quickly here, because this video is getting kind of long, but that's okay. I'm on Indian time. We're all hopefully on Indian time, which by the way is Creator's, grandfather's time. It's our ancestors' time, because there is no time. It's not linear. It's fluid, circular. I'm not even sure time exists, because, it's just the way things are. But the dream that I had just the other night, it was a strange dream. There was a car. I was in my car. Actually, I was trying to get into my car. And driver's side's here. And then right next to it was another car that was too close. And I thought, well, I'll just wait for him to pull out. I guess I was in a parking lot in this dream. So he starts to get in the car and to pull out because he realizes he's too close. And I realized that the angle is off. And if he continues to pull out, he's going to scrape my car. Not that my Res Pony is, a nice car. It's an old 1998 Honda Civic with over 250,000 miles on it. But in the dream, I was kind of concerned, not to scratch it, not to scratch his car. So I said, hold on and hang on a minute. And for some unknown reason, I got down and I looked and I spotted something that was under his wheel, the front passenger side wheel. So I got down and I looked, and I spotted a feather of a bird. It looked like an incomplete bird, and I'd recognize this feather anywhere. And in my dream, it was so vivid. It was a red-tailed hawk, an adult red-tailed hawk. I'd know those feathers anywhere. So I said, hold on, let me pull this relative out, because obviously he was dead. Well, I started pulling him out, and I realized that both feet had been cut off with a saw, and that the entire tail section, the red tail section, had been removed, and that the rest of the relative was just there. And I thought to myself, that's not right. Trophies like that are wrong. And I thought, what do I do? And then I woke up and I realized what it was telling me. The old ways, the proper ways to deal with our relatives out of respect and a sense of connection must be taught to the others. Understanding of sacredness and medicine must be taught to the others. You accidentally kill a bird, first thing I do, or if I see one that's already dead, I've got tobacco in the car at all times. I take that relative and I come to a place like this and I lay tobacco down and I let him be and give him a place to rest. So old ways are set around those 12 virtues, but they're also set around our traditions and our spirituality, and they're set around our culture and our understanding of our language. We need to return to the old ways, but we have to remember that they need an understanding of returning to the old ways also. Because you know what? Way, way back, they had indigenous blood in them. The Europeans that came over here, John Trudell talks about, hey, we've had 500 plus years to go through this colonization, but we remember. But the ones that came over in 1492 and after, they had 1,000 years past that point where they were indigenous and they were manipulated by the church, by the royalty, all in the name of money. They need us, but we can't help them till we help ourselves. We can't help ourselves until we return to the old ways. That's what this is all about. We must return to the old ways. I know this video is a little long, but I speak from my heart, and I hope that's okay. I love every one of you guys. I especially want to give a shout out to my Oglala people. I know I wasn't born on the res like my grandpa. I wish I could find my people. I wish I could find what little might be left of my family. But right now, that does not seem completely possible. But I love you guys. Oglala, Hunkpapa, Sichanhu, Itazipcho, Minikuoju, Two Kettles, and Blackfeet, which I have to learn the Lakota for those two. And all the Dakota and Nakota of the Ocheti Shakon Oyate, all of us. My heart goes out to you. I'm asking you in a good way. Return to the old ways if you haven't. And if you have, be strong for those who haven't and help them. Help them find their way back to the circle and help them live as indigenous, as natives, as connected to all of creation. That's all for now. I've run my mouth enough. Dokshake.